Hello. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
everybody.
evening.
And
Good afternoon.
wow, a lot of people are here already, and 3 events in a row.
Yeah. And we just did as usual. Well, it's becoming a tradition. We did a bet which Yvonne would be the first, and we were both wrong.
Yes, yeah. Yvonne Lagarde, yay!
Yeah, you win.
You win.
So anyway.
Philip and Dagmar are there.
Yes.
Hi, Sip. Hi, Catherine.
Hello,
Hi,
folks.
Jose, Ernst, and Axel. Happy New Year, everybody.
And a belated Happy New Year. Much happier New Year. A much
Yes.
healthier New Year.
Yeah.
Let's hope
And,
for a year with a lot of diving, if that's possible, with a lot
Yep.
of travel, if that's
Yes,
possible.
with open borders and everything else.
Let's wait
Yeah.
and see. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today.
No,
Right.
definitely not. No.
No.
Actually, I don't think it will be a very long stream because here this past week everybody had New Year's disease.
Or the New Year's blues.
Yeah, no blues.
no blues.
No. Indonesian New Year's disease.
Mm.
And for sure Axel knows what I mean. It means that shops are not open.
Mm.
Staff sometimes come to work, is late for work, is on low speed for this week. And because, well, every afternoon they have to visit their neighbors, their friends, eat cookies, drink, whatever.
Mm.
And visit family in other cities. And so
It's been a slow week.
It's a very slow week, and it's not something that I look forward to every year because every year is the same. So it's not an exception this year.
Yeah. Well,
But,
and actually, before the pandemic, you were not even here to witness that.
Most of the time, no.
Yeah, you would celebrate Christmas and New Year's with the family in the Netherlands.
That not every year, but
mostly. Yeah.
Quite often.
Yeah.
And if not, then I would leave the 3rd or the 4th because to catch the French dive show.
Yeah.
And well, all the shows are cancelled. We don't have opportunities. Let's say that.
Let's hope they come out later.
Yes.
But yeah, because it was a slow week, we did have Arnold and his team come in.
Yes, and you could explore and exhibit your creativity. Because,
I guess so.
Right?
A little bit.
You had fun with that.
It was quite a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So starting last week on Wednesday, because so as you know, we're building the restaurant and we're focusing first on the local market to try and get some traction there.
Yeah.
I did some more research on how to try to get an Instagram account, especially in the food business, because that's not easy to set up. And I compared it to a lot of other Instagram accounts to see, what makes eateries in Manado special. And so I put together a lot of images to kind of find a style for our restaurant in terms of photography. And with that under my belt, we set about doing food photography. So,
yes, actually.
So
and
that was
just good
fun.
Morning. Hi, Sonia and Albert.
Hi, Albert, Sonia.
And very good year for you guys too.
Yes.
Very happy.
Definitely.
Healthy.
And so we had Arnold come in.
Yeah.
They prepared a lot of dishes.
Actually, they prepared
everything on the menu.
Everything on the menu. Yeah. And then, of course, it needed to be eaten. So
yes.
that was a kind of extra bonus.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And after that, it was time to do some like product photography. Now, I'm an okay photographer, I think, and I don't have a DSLR camera. So you know the best camera the best camera that there is the one you have. Right. So
right, and we heard that before.
And so I would like to show you a short video impression of that.
You made everything with your handphone.
Yes, this was my camera.
So the man behind the machine is doing the job. So that was your.
That was my week. Yeah.
I was trying to find equipment for the felines, and managed to get some, not everything else, but not everything. I designed the bathrooms, bought bathtubs, toilets, very interesting, taps.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
Wim has. Apakah kita masih tepat waktu?
Yeah, Wim asks if they're still in time. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
of
You're
course you are.
always in time, Wim.
Yeah, you more than make up for all the other times you were not
Yeah,
in time, so it's fine. And good morning to you as well.
And good, and a happy new
And
year.
a happy new year,
Mm-mm.
of course.
So yeah, so my week was far less interesting than yours, right? I just managed to stop by a lot of closed shops.
Yeah,
Had a fight with an aquarium
yeah.
owner about fish.
Oh, I hope you didn't get physical.
And no,
Okay.
no, but I threatened him.
Oh,
Yeah. But anyway, no, we made up.
okay, good. Yeah. You bring good business.
And not really. I didn't buy anything.
I mean, in general.
In general,
Yeah.
normally spoken, yes.
Right, when you're
I
building.
am, but not with an aquarium.
Yeah. Hi Ingrid.
Hi Ingrid.
And
Goedemorgen.
yes, Ernst, all shall be revealed. So yeah.
So yeah, let's focus on your adventures.
Let's take a look at the food
and,
photography, because that was also the preview of this stream.
Yes, and we don't have an update about the rest, because there's just only activities to deal with too much rain.
Yeah, yeah. And hi Petra.
Hi Petra, thank you very much, and yeah, for everybody, of course, the same.
Mm-mm.
So you have a first small video made by Satoka?
It's from Satoka and me. I just put it all together,
yeah.
and so yeah, here are
Making up.
the chefs busy in the kitchen preparing everything. So I was running back and forth to the improvised photo studio that we set up downstairs in the coffee shop. And running back and forth between there and the kitchen, kind of catch the chefs in action as they're preparing dishes.
Spring rolls.
Yep.
Very tasty with sweet and sour
Mm.
sauce.
Yeah, aka lumpia.
Yep.
And so, yeah, especially just the running around with my phone was a lot of sweating involved, but I mean, it already looks quite tasty. With Nova,
Yeah,
she's
you
preparing
can
some kampu.
almost smell the garlic.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know what is kampu, it's kind of water spinach. And a very popular food
Yeah.
in this area.
Very delicious, with a lot of
Oh,
garlic.
a lot. And this is called a hot plate. So the steel pan underneath is keeping the kampu hot.
Yeah. And we've got some photos, and this is what it looks like when we were shooting. So I've got a tripod, and you know, I found a place in the cafeteria downstairs in the cafe.
And you had people holding up mirrors and, and screens and white paper and
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff.
I had a lot
right?
of assistance,
Yes.
which was nice because I
Yeah.
needed it, to be honest.
And everybody actually enjoyed doing it
Yeah.
as well. Right?
Also had models.
Yeah. So the models were Santa and Aum.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they had to eat
Very slowly.
slowly.
Yeah, and so yeah, that just kind of gives you an idea of the process. But of course, I would like to show a little bit more because I took a lot more pictures.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I took just under 400 photos
Oh wow.
over the course
That
of
would be
2.5 days.
very difficult to make a choice. I always find that almost impossible.
Yeah,
right?
that's quite difficult. But anyway, let's take a look. So here you see the studio setup. People are getting hungry, and so I've got this tripod with a gimbal, so I can really rotate the camera or the phone in this case any way I want. And then the photo studio is right next to the window, so I can make use of natural light with some black wallpaper that I got from the local craft store.
Yep.
And yeah, and then people would run out of the kitchen, and then we would position it,
Yeah.
and then I would start shooting.
And we have this fresh hamburgers, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Fresh minced meat, like we gulung by ourselves.
Yeah.
And then homemade buns.
Yeah.
And
it was like a coral plate. It's actually slate.
Yeah, it's a slate.
Yeah.
Right.
Coral would be very.
Well, that's so
not done.
Us.
It's not
Yeah,
done,
no.
right? No, so yeah, so these are stone slate plates, and they make for awesome presentation. And then here you see
and this is
another shot.
This is mujaya,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
This is
that's the fish on the left.
Yeah, so you know it better like tilapia.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think it's delicious, and it's very easy to, how do you call it, cultivate. So it's very easy to, so I don't have to feel bad for environment or
They're
nature.
farmed.
So they're farmed. Yeah.
And if you've ever done the Highland tour and you stopped at Lake Tondano, there's a good chance you had this for lunch.
Yep.
There, it's a delicious little fish, and they farm all the
Nice
fish
white,
there.
soft meat.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only drawback are the bones. It's quite a lot.
Yeah,
of
it's a bit
bones.
bony.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on the right we have a simple chicken, a simple grilled chicken. And then the green cones you see there is pandan leaf, and they hold together a cone of rice.
Yes.
You'll see that more of that in a bit.
Sorry to correct you, but I don't think it's pandan leaf. It's a banana leaf.
I always get that wrong. Sometimes it's pandan, sometimes it's banana leaf.
Yeah, but pandan leaf is not being used for wrapping. It's being used for taste and smell.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Axel says it's lekkerder than tilapia.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think so too.
Definitely, and it's fresh.
Mm.
And then so before we really started shooting, I had to experiment a little. So I got 3 different colors of wallpaper because I wanted to figure out what was the most presentable. And so I got, while the chefs were cooking, I just got I got a plate, a package of mihun, and a can of corn.
Yeah, just for the color, the contrast. I
Yeah.
think.
And just did some test shots on the different colors of wallpaper.
And then we went for the black one.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, and because the one on the left, it looks okay, but the colors don't come out so well. And then on the right, it looks a little bit too cheap, in my opinion. It doesn't it doesn't make you feel hungry enough in that sense. And of course, that's what we want to achieve with the Instagram feed when we start posting this.
Yes.
Hi, Marjolein.
Hi, Marjolein.
Oh, they're gonna
Duikse,
dive. Ooh, that's nice.
New Year's dive.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah. I completely agree. Yeah. So these things kind of these questions develop themselves. And then I tried a couple more different things. I also tried it on our table in the restaurant, but it was too busy, and
not busy with people, but busy as a contrast.
Yeah,
right?
There's too much going on, and then you can't have the good focus on the food. And thanks, Marjolein. Enjoy your dive. And then, of course, our restaurant with my wall painting in the back. We also did some stuff with that, but yeah, I'll show you later. And this is what the first decent shots look like. Now here's Samarindang with a cone of rice.
Yeah, for those that don't know what is Samarindang, it's beef and cooked very, very long with spices. In Holland, you say it would be close to haché, actually.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but it's 10 times more delicious.
I like haché, but there's less onions and more herbs.
Yeah, yeah. And Ernst is asking, nice if the picture has some depth using a bit of shadow. Well, yeah, so I think you can see here. So I positioned the table with the wallpaper next to the window to get as much natural light in as possible. And the thing is that in the mornings, the light is the best because the sun is not shining through the windows yet. So the lighting is not so harsh. And then later throughout the day, I had people holding up a big white paper to diffuse the light a little bit.
I saw that.
Yeah, but yeah, this turns out great and it looks very presentable.
So if you look properly, Ernst, there is some shadow under the plates, which lifts it up a little bit.
Yeah, and it makes it very diffuse and gives it a natural feel. And then here's the first model, Santa. She was awesome. She did a great job. And I promised her, no, you will not be in full frame with your face. It's just going to be the bottom half of your face because we want to focus on the food. And she did great. And she was very nervous in the beginning. And
Oh, Petra, that was absolutely not the intention, but just to explain how what the.
It's the closest comparison, right?
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, haché is okay.
Haché is okay.
With mashed potatoes and red cabbage.
Rendang is better.
Yes.
And so yeah, so the way this worked was first I would photograph the first dish coming out of the kitchen on the black paper in the studio, if you will, and then shoot that from a couple of different angles. You know, I had a menu shot, then I had a more like an upward shot straight from above, and then I would try with different props. You can see that later as well to make it a bit more interesting here and there. So that we can reuse a couple of dishes when we start posting it.
This is also the reason that you kept your camera in a vertical position, because we are going to use it for the social media.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason why they're cropped at 1:1 in a square frame, because I just want the feed to look as pretty as possible, and I didn't want to spend a lot of time cropping each picture separately, etc. Especially because I kept shooting nonstop. And so then after shooting on the black paper, we would then run back up to the restaurant with Santa in tow, who was previously holding a reflector or a diffuser or helping out in some way, and then sit down and start eating.
Very funny.
Yeah, and then me leaning over in front of Santa. Okay, no, hold your fork like that. Then, okay, now can you take a bite slowly? Wait, yeah, hold it there, and then shoot. And it was quite funny.
Well, that reflection was on purpose. Actually.
Yeah. So yes,
but
you are right. You are correct. Black fabric would have worked better.
Better?
Probably it would have, but the problem is it's very difficult to keep clean, and I think the texture of the black paper in this case works quite nicely.
I like the a little bit of shiny part.
Yeah. And then here's another shot. So here you can see I just added these 4 different shots just to kind of illustrate what I was trying to get Santa to do. Just take a bite, and I was trying to say no, your fork is not full enough yet. It needs to be a little fuller. And of course the food got cold.
Of course, right.
But yeah, it was quite funny. And this is one of my favorites from Wednesday.
And the satay looks a little bit blurry. Is that on purpose?
Yes, because the depth of field on the right photo is on the nasi goreng, because that's the dish. It's nasi goreng with the two satay. But yeah, you simply have a very short depth of field when you do these close-ups. The picture on the left is really like the menu shot.
Yeah.
So we're going to use that for the menu.
But this looks tasty.
Yeah, it looks delicious. It's mouthwatering.
Especially the right side. Yeah.
And I honestly, with the camera, with a phone, it's thank you, Ernst. Thank you very much. I do have to say that shooting with phones these days, it makes the job easier, because there's a lot of these flattering. They have like photography AI built in. So the camera knows when it's looking at food.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it knows when it's looking.
Honestly?
Yeah, it knows when it's looking at food or when it's looking at a landscape or a face, and then it adjusts accordingly. And then
Wow.
it adds, just a little bit more reds in this case to make the food come out just a little bit, so
Wow.
to lifts it up. So
That's
so
what
yeah.
you call a smartphone.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And later, last week, I found out, I should actually, there is also a 48 megapixel mode on this. So I started using that more and more,
Okay.
which brings out even more detail. And then, so over the course of the day, I still had Satoka helping me out as both a hand model in this case and as well as an assistant. And then, because I was first focused on the menu shots, and then I was like, wait a minute, let's just try something different every time we get a new dish in the studio.
And that's why where the slate comes in again.
Yeah.
And then only information, especially for you, Ernst. In one of the streams, you had a remark that when people are in Indonesia, they should eat Indonesian, which I 100% agree with. But being here for 2 or 3 weeks,
Yeah.
the craving for something else starts to happen.
Yes. Yeah,
and we know that from experience.
Especially when you're diving.
Yes, then you want something different.
Yeah.
And so that is one reason that we have the different dishes. And let's be honest, for now, we have to deal with the local market. Now, if you go for dinner, are you going to a restaurant to eat suko?
Or hashe.
Or hashe? Probably not. You go to Chinese restaurant, Japanese restaurant, Italian restaurant, because you want to eat something different than you do at home.
Yeah.
So the Manadamis are not different. If it's only nasi goreng, they can eat that every day at home.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So we want to try to lure them in with something different.
Something Western.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because the Western
That's
food.
Also trendy.
It's kind of it plays in on and people are so cling on to anything that's from the West, and so that goes for media, movies, and food as well. Thank you, Katrin and Albert. And yes.
Yes, that's why we have pizza night.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's nothing better. Well, there's almost nothing better than some French fries after a dive.
Really, not only after a dive.
No, but it's quite nice.
It's very nice.
Yeah. So yeah, we this is where, in this shot in particular, is where we started experimenting a little bit with like what I call like interactivity. So just grab it, and just trying something different.
Yeah, and then the kangkung, just the making of. And then here you do the same thing with the depth in field.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, I'm quite pleased with the shot on the left. I love how that looks. I love the color contrast between the wooden plate
and the
hot
symmetry
plate.
As well.
Yeah. And then I just always go in for a bit of a close up just to get something different and look at how fresh it looks. It's
and guys, this is really how it looks like.
Yeah.
It's not that we make that especially for the for the photo shoots. This is the way we want to serve the food.
This is not some painted paper mache with varnish.
No, because after that you eat it.
After that we eat it. Yes. Fun fact. I learned about food photography. So for cereals, for breakfast cereals, maybe you guys know. I will give you some minutes to give the answer. But what do they use in food photography for breakfast cereals instead of milk? Put your answers in the comments.
Okay.
If you know, just put it in the comments. I found this out. It's quite funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a whole art form, food photography.
I know that. I saw a documentary about that.
I want to see that.
Yeah. I have to remember what's the name, but
okay.
I saw the whole documentary about it.
Correct. Hi, Selima. Correct.
Glue. Right.
Body lotion, not a bad guess. What I read, actually, it's Elmer's glue or white glue or wood glue, because that makes the cereal float.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it doesn't get soggy
Oh,
and
really?
then sink to the bottom. Yeah. And they use all kinds of things for ice cubes. I believe that's silicone or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because the so-called food spends hours in a photo studio before they send it off for printing.
But we didn't do that.
No, we didn't do that. We wanted to show you the real thing, and of course, it would be a little bit expensive.
What's the white stuff on the side?
That's a glass. That's a frosted glass of water.
Oh, okay.
This is the second day. Here is Jane. And Jane is trying out the kangkung, and I had to tell her jokes to make her smile.
Oh, Selima has more input. Wow.
Okay, and to show food steaming, they microwave a wet tampon and stick it under the food. Really?
Really? Yucky. But we can try. Well, that would be something to try.
But they don't sell tampons here.
No.
Send us tampons. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So there you go. And Ennis says, Ennis, did you do food photography? Sometimes you use Sirsak. Any fruit juice will do for me. Okay. All right. And so again, just kind of getting the lifestyle. I call these lifestyle photos a little bit. You want to see people enjoying the food, and Alan was definitely enjoying the kangkung. And then on the right, going a bit more experimental, trying something different, just something silly to make it.
Yes.
A bit more fun.
Normally, Alan or Jane. She's officially called Jane.
Yeah.
And she's one of the waitresses. Right?
Yeah. And she was happy to model. She was also a bit nervous, of course, but it was quite a big deal for people. And then just a couple more snacks.
Yeah, so we have a snack menu at the poolside, and then with different plates that cannot break.
Yes, quite
That's
important.
That's necessary.
Yeah, and the colors come out just beautifully.
I think so too.
Yeah. And
how come you know so much about food photography, Selima?
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, Selima, why do you know so much? What's the secret? So what do we have here? Here we have original Dutch bitterballen.
Bitterballen. They're not completely round, but
they're not completely round, but they're quite good.
They're very good. And actually, I don't know for 100% how these are made, because they also make them from potato, not always from ragu.
Right.
And but both versions are delicious.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, bitterballen is kind of like a traditional snack in the Netherlands. Yes. Well, maybe you watched the same documentary.
I think I watched the same documentary. Do you remember what it was called?
Please send me the name, Selima. I'm curious. And it's glue. Elmer's glue, wood glue, so that it doesn't spoil. Bitterballen, a traditional Dutch snack in cafes or bars.
And the Dutch were kicked out here around in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And the bitterballen
were
there to stay.
Yeah. And we have them usually with mustard, quite delicious, very hot in the beginning.
And very hard to buy, actually, here. The real nice mustard. Right?
Actually, in the Golden, they sell Kuhne mustard.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah, not the sweet yellow stuff. Yeah. Leave it to my wife to find that out. Oh, okay. All right, Selima.
Yeah, for me too. It was a while ago.
Google is my friend. I'll find it. And then, a couple of pizzas. Just very simple. And I also, of course, this is not the only photos, but I had to make a selection of so many.
Yeah.
On the right, we have a pizza napo.
Napo.
And on the left,
with the
we have the Oceana
Mm.
with
shrimp.
anchovies.
Shrimps also. Look.
And shrimps.
And fresh anchovies. So.
Mm. And fresh anchovies. Yeah, they Arnold makes it himself, and they're very, very delicious.
They're nice.
Salima, spit and facts. To photograph burgers, bring all the ingredients to the front, makes them look big and tall. I'll remember that.
Okay.
And show the meat. And actually, I didn't put it in this presentation, but I have 2 photographs of the same burger. I shot it from one angle, and then I rotated it, shot it again, and then in Photoshop I added the top of the burger on the other photo so that the burger comes out a bit better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I didn't put it in this one. And here you see some more props to use to make the shot look a little bit interesting. And,
So.
And in all honesty, Paul, I understand what you mentioned about the cloth, but I do like the sheen that the paper gives.
Me too.
It makes it a little bit more naturalistic, and it makes it gives the objects something to cast a shadow against.
Yes, and that is where Ernst came in and said it you get a little bit more depth.
Yeah. And the colors pop so nicely.
Yeah.
And so yeah, using props, and again here, a cold beer behind the walnuts. Sorry, the peanuts.
And then olive oil behind the salad.
Right? Yeah. And those don't need to be in focus. So for every shot, it's always about the food. I always try to do that. Yeah. Quite pleased with the results.
And these peanuts are fresh, guys. They're being how do you call it? Fried, I think, or they're being fried. So Arnold buys them raw, and then
oh, really?
fries them.
I didn't even know that. Wow. Yeah.
Same for cashews and things like that.
Yeah.
Right?
And I thought, because I had this bowl of peanuts, and I'm like, okay, let's just crack a couple open and make it messy.
Looks fun.
Looks fun. Yeah, just a bit more interesting. Wim, thank you. Sonja Bakker is a famous Dutch food writer.
Oh, food critic, yeah.
And a critic, I think, and a chef. Thank you, Wim. I think it's only a testament of how many streams we've done. But I appreciate it nonetheless.
Nice.
And then, some desserts.
Some desserts.
These are pastries.
These are profiterole, like Susan, what's they called here, the small
puff pastries.
Puff pastry, and then filled with ice cream, frozen again. And then when they come out of the freezer, they are being poured over by hot chocolate.
Yeah.
And wow.
Yeah, it looks great. And I got these sheets of colored foam,
right.
Like A2 sized colored foam in different colors. And I thought for all the menu shots, it's not really something we could use, but I thought this would be like fun to do.
Yes,
to try
definitely.
out.
I think maybe it even comes out better because of the dark chocolate and then black paper. That would not.
No, yeah. And I somehow had in my head, it's dessert. It needs to be colorful and a bit festive.
Yep.
For een feestelijke uitstraling. And yes, it does look delicious that way. So it comes out nice.
And then fighting over the last piece of the delicious pizza. I really think this is fun.
So you can imagine me behind my phone and then reaching out with my right hand, and I'm asking Jane on the left
to slap your hand.
To slap my hand, and while I'm shooting, and this is like a little bit of storytelling.
It's fun.
It's not really necessary, but I don't want the kind of social media feed where everything is just like
the same,
a flyer or a special offer.
And it's my conviction that photos need to tell a story.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I'm not a very big fan of a lot of macro photography.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It has to, there has to be something behind it, what you can talk about or what you can imagine.
Yeah.
Your fantasy should be triggered, right?
And then it should look at least a little bit shareable and feel, oh, that looks nice.
Yeah, the only thing I have, the plate is very clean, right?
That is a problem, yeah. That is, but the pizza was very delicious.
Yes, even the crumbs were eaten.
Well, truth be told, I haven't eaten that much in a long time.
Come on, I went there twice and you were only chewing.
I know, yeah. So I don't regret the shoot. And then, some more silly things. I challenged Jane here a little bit.
Yep.
To try.
She actually had to lay down on the floor.
Yeah. So I asked her to lie down and just put the pizza very close to your head, so your head becomes a pizza. And
should have a smiley face.
Yeah, with some and again, these are more like experimental lifestyle pictures. I was inspired by a couple of photos that I saw, and I want to do more of this to make it look like on the edge of arty-farty and delicious. It should be between that a little bit.
And left side, gazpacho.
Yep, quite nice as well. And it does look delicious. And then some more. And then we have the Bitterballen coming back. I thought it would be nice to photograph it against the painting in the cafeteria, and then holding it like this. And then
the lasagna.
Yeah.
Right, we have two kinds of lasagna. This was the meat version. I
think
this is the vegetarian version.
Yeah. And after that shoot, I actually brought it home and we finished it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You got a pizza.
Yes, that's true.
We take care of each other.
Yes, and for lunch we had the meat lasagna.
Yeah. So basically that gives you a bit of an insight of what we did to shoot photography, because that's what we do.
That's what we do. That's what we are trying to make everything interesting and fun and workable.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And and in all honesty, we'd love to show you more diving, but it's just a very low season at the moment. There's
it's
just not much
raining
going on.
Continuously.
Yeah.
This is the first day in at least 3 weeks that it's not raining. And this morning I was walking down to have a look at what the guys were doing, and there was sun on the path, and I was like taking a sun bath for a couple of minutes because it's just too wet.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we can't complain. The nature is thriving under this weather.
Yeah. So I think for next week we can show you a bigger update. Hopefully,
Yes,
if everything
definitely.
goes right.
At the moment, they're putting the glass in the windows in the villas, and they're working on the ceiling, the installation for water and electricity, and Jacob and his team, they built a small parking, which is not my preference, but cannot be helped. And they made a big gutter to take care of the water, which was coming down in waterfalls. So next week, more updates.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you, Dagmar.
Thank you. That's very sweet, Dagmar.
Yeah. And I hope we can thanks again. And I hope we can go diving soon, but you need to take care of yourself first, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So if you see my mouth moving all the time, I'm using medicine at the moment, and it gives me a very bitter taste in my mouth. Yeah. So I'm not 100%.
No, so. But you will be soon, and then
yes, next week will be all okay.
And then we're gonna make a dive.
Oh, finally.
Right. Let's do that.
Right.
Sounds like a plan. Anyway.
So it's not a very long stream, but still 40 minutes. Quite.
I wasn't counting.
Actually, I'm surprised actually.
Yeah.
Please,
but feel free to have breakfast. We've had ours already.
You should make a picture of your breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what we haven't done yet. Breakfast pictures,
Breakfast photos.
right? Because my plan is to serve breakfast in the
Mm.
villas
Mm.
with a chef cooking your eggs on the spot.
Some nice pancakes.
Nice pancakes
Mhm.
and having breakfast in bed with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to spoil you guys.
Mm. For sure.
Mm,
Thank you, Jose.
that's very sweet.
Yeah, go for that coffee. You've earned
Go.
it.
Go, 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 go.
All right, everyone. Just a quick one before we go. Where are you? You're right here.
Yeah.
As usual. I'm just putting it out there.
It always makes me feel married.
I know, but it helps us moving forward and it helps the staff.
Definitely, definitely,
So,
definitely.
so yeah, but let's not dwell on that
No.
too much. And we will see you all next week.
Yes, love you guys. We really, really enjoy it if you are logging in and looking
Yep.
at our stream
Yes.
and participating. Thank you very much for all the input. Also very helpful. Thank you, Salima, for well, the cooked wet tampon.
Yeah. And everyone, take care of each other and take care of yourselves. And
Thank you, guys.
stay healthy, stay safe, and we will see you next week. And hopefully, we can see each other soon for real. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Have a good weekend.